All right, so welcome everybody. Happy to be here today to talk about how you get started building websites and adding material to Scalar. And Scalar is the online e-textbook or ebook that we're all creating this semester and contributing to. So what I'll talk about today with Professor Wong here in the session is a few basic things that you can do. So the first is going to be how to edit a page if you're a user inside this book. And at this point, you should all have accounts and you should all be able to log in and sign in to Scalar through the information that I shared with you. And once you do that, you should then click on or be able to access the URL, which you see right here for this book. And once you go there, you're going to see essentially the same stuff that I'm seeing right now and that you see in this recording. So you can come back and watch this again later after you've signed on and go to the appropriate point in this video to determine, to find out where you will need help as you get started. Okay, so first things first, when you see is the front page of the book, and in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see in that little 3 lines and dots, you're going to see the table of contents for this book. And for the most part, what you see right now is information that Professor Wong has created for you to look at. And just like with any other website, you can click on any of those links and it's going to take you to different places inside the book. All right, and at any time, you can go to any section and then go back to the home page or the front cover of the book by clicking on the link at the very top, and it will take you back here. So remember too, when you start working in the book, everything here is added to a table of contents by Professor Wong. So if you create a page, it's not going to appear here yet. So what we're going to do when you create your pages, you're going to need to share the link to that page to Professor Wong so she can add it to the table of contents. And I'll be helping her do that too. So once again, when you create a page inside of Scalar, it's just going to be something you see. But when you want to share that out and have other people see it in the table of contents, you're going to need to email or submit to a discussion forum in Canvas, depending on what Professor Wong wants to do. A link, so it would be this, if I'm inside the course, you're going to share that link information with Professor Wong, and then we will be able to fold it into the table of contents at the appropriate place. Okay. All right. So the first thing you want to do when you're inside of Scalar, and let's do this first. We're going to want to create a new page. So most of the tools that you need from the very beginning when you're working inside of Scalar are going to be right along the top right-hand corner of the interface. So this would help you search for elements inside of Scalar, so content. This would help you find help information. This is the built-in kind of help guide for Scalar, so any more in-depth questions, you can click on that question mark. Typically, you're going to be going to 2 or 3 icons. The plus sign will help you add a new page. The pencil icon, if you think of the eraser, is what helps you edit. So anytime you need to edit something, you're going to click on that pencil. And the last one is the wrench over here, and the wrench will take you to your dashboard, which will show you basic information about who's in the book, what you've added, and how to add media. So anytime you want to add an image to your page in Scalar, you first have to upload the image through the wrench into an area I'll show you in a moment, and then add it to the page that you've created. So once you get a hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. But first things first, let's go ahead. What we're going to do is create a new page. So you click on the plus sign, and I'm just going to name this test page. And that's what's going to appear at the very top of the page once you've made it. And then down below, just like in Microsoft Word or anywhere else, this is where you will add your text. You can copy and paste from a Word document, which is, in my recommendation, is to work, if you're creating a lot of text, if you're writing a lot of text for this particular page, write it up first in Word and save it as a Word document, just so you have a backup. And then what you can do is copy and paste into Scalar from your Word document. And when you do that, you'll see there's a little icon that says paste from Word. So copy in Word, get it all on your clipboard, come over to the page in Scalar that you want to copy it into, paste from Word, and then you can put it right into that box. And it will appear appropriately formatted inside of Scalar. Now for the text that you put in there, you can make it bold, you can italicize it, you can underline it, you could change its color to a certain degree. So there's some formatting options that you have here inside of Scalar. You can make it bigger or smaller depending on whether or not it's a section heading right inside of the interface. For those of you who have any kind of familiarity with working with HTML code, if you click on the source button, you can see those code tags. So if you want to just have plain text, go back to there, toggle back and forth, just like in a lot of other editors that you may see for online tools. Again, you can use bulleted points or numbered lists. You can enter in a quotation, and that will give it some different formatting. So if you have a quote from an author or a historical figure, you want to put it in a Scalar, it's easy enough to format it so it looks a little bit different. You want to do that. Okay, so once you've added a bit of text, you can edit it away, putting in text there. We'll go talk about images in a second. You have the text in there. Now, down below the text box, or the content box, you're going to see a few different options as well. And the first one is going to be layout. Now, right now, you see that this is just a basic layout. But if you want to do something a little bit different, there are a few options that you have at your disposal, and it's going to be these top 8 that you can choose from. So image header would mean that, as you can see from a breakdown here, you'll have a large image up at the top that you would add to that page, and it will appear formatted differently. You could have a splash where it's all an image, and that's probably not something you're going to want to do unless it's the homepage of the actual book or a book splash. So usually what you're going to choose from in the general are basic, just text and images put together however you like, or an image header that gives it a little bit more aesthetic, appeal because there's a giant image up at the top, and then below that will be text and images. So as you're thinking about what you want your page to look like, that's going to be the layout options available to you. A media gallery would mean if you wanted to embed several images that would go in a kind of carousel or gallery at the very top, you could do that as well with your images. A structured media gallery, as you can see here, is if you had, say, like a collection of images in an art gallery and you wanted to have them all as thumbnails, you could click and open up, you could do that too. Google Maps and timelines are a little bit more involved, so I'm going to leave those off for right now. But just remember that your basic and your image header are probably going to be the 2 you want to start off with. And right now, those are the only things you really need to think about in terms of this area down below, relationships. You don't need to worry about that. If we're doing an image header, on the styling area, you might want to choose a key image, and that's going to be the one that appears at the top. So let's say I choose that image. All right, so all I'm doing here is I'm choosing image header. For the styling, I'm adding a key image that'll appear at the top of the page. Save and view. Oh, I should have permission. Okay, so you should see that. I suppose I'm not an author in this book. I need to add that myself to that. But what you'll see is something with the image appearing at the top when you save and view yourself. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move along then. So that's really what you want to do. I'm going to go when you add a page. So you just click on the plus button, put in your description and title, add text below, and then choose the layout that you want to have. Okay, we're going to just stick with basic. All right, so once you've done that, you'll click save and view. I can't do that right now because I've failed to add myself as an author to this book, which is unfortunate, but once you do that, then you're going to see that in the screen. So let me just quickly add myself as an author to this book. All right, so book users, I'll find myself. Okay, so sorry for that, everybody. Just something had to go wrong, right? So let's add a page again to test page, form ipsum. And then I'm going to choose image header, styling key image is the one that appears at the top. Save and view. There we go. So it's a nice looking page. So if you have a nice big high resolution image that you want to kind of give a sense of, you know, impact at the very top with that image, and then down below you're going to see your text. Okay. So when you see that, you say, oh, that looks fantastic, but I need to add some more text and images, of course. You're going to click on that pencil icon, and there you get back to the builder page. Now let's say you wanted to add that image somewhere in the area of the text box. So what you're going to do is these blue buttons are the ones that are going to help you make connections to other pages or hyperlinks, but then also add media. So what you're going to want to do to add media anywhere is basically insert an inline scalar media link. So it's that second from the left. And when you do that, you're going to see all the images you have uploaded. You can choose the one that you want, and you can make the size of it variable from small to the full native size of that image. You can create a new line for it or text wrap around other text. You can align it to different parts of the page, and you can include the description with that media into the page itself. So when you do that, you'll see this little gray box up here, and you can always go back to edit it using that wheel. Let's say, okay, I added that image. Let's see what it looks like. Down below, you'll see it appear over here. So when building your page, and basically what you're doing is, let me remove that. Okay. You're just going to create, again, press the plus button, give a title, add some text, and then you can insert media if you want to at any particular point within the text, and then choose what kind of layout you want to have for that page. Now you can go back and forth in the layouts. Different layouts are not going to alter the content. That'll always be there. You're just making a different style decision about the page. So there you see I saved in view. It's no longer image header, so all we see is the text. So what I'd encourage you to do initially is just click on that plus button and make a new page and have the end of that test page be, say, your last name. So you can find it within the pages. We can always edit the title at any time as well. Okay, so there's my page. So those are the two features you begin with. So once you log into Scalar, click on the plus sign that when you go to the book, and then you can add the page, edit it, putting in text, and using the pencil icon to alter it. Now let me do one more thing. For linking, let's say I want to link that word. Now you can link to other pages in the book if you want to. Right, so let's say you want to connect to one of your colleagues or one of your fellow students' pages, you can do that. You can make a link to that, or you can add a link to an external URL. So let's say I want to do, and you can choose to open it in a new browser window if you want to. So you'll see the typical blue underline for that. That means it's a hyperlink now. Save and view, and that will take you then to another page. So that could be inside the page or otherwise. So there you have it. That's how we enter in basic text and make links and enter in images. Okay, anybody have any questions just right there?
Okay, no questions then? All right, so Matt, one thing that I want to add, and this is for the students, is that you will need to create hyperlinks within the class pages to refer back to your projects under your author bios. So Matt, if you don't mind going to the table of contents and opening up that appropriate materials page. Yeah, so this will be the general kind of welcome page to our site. And this is where each of you will add your author bio. There's a short description of what I'm looking for in the project page, but you'll enter this information directly onto this page, so you'll go in and edit it. And then once you've created your project one page, you'll list that here by your material thinker name, and then you'll create a hyperlink.
Right, so let's say I was going to do that myself right now, so I'm going to edit it, and just as an example. So now we see all that text. I'm going to scroll down. So I would enter in my name, Matthew Russell. My bio would be there. And then what I'm going to want to do, select that, and you're going to do the blue link to go to the right page. Oh, select it. You can see it linking there. I'll save and view. And now there's my name, and that's going to link inside of Scalar to my page.
Great, perfect, Matt. And just one more thing, when you're doing that, if you can erase the link text, that's just for your own reference. So for formatting, just to make sure that we're all coordinating, we'll get rid of the link within the parentheses. Yeah, exactly, and just keep it like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, so when you have time, you can go in there and do that, just adding some of your text. And then what we can also, how do I remove that now? Let's see. I think what I'm going to have to do, cancel. No, I'll just rewrite it. So I have to erase it. Okay. There we go. So we're back there. So once again, yeah, just rewind this video if you want to, and you can see how to add your own page with a plus and edit it. So the next thing I want to talk about is for each of your, I believe this is right, Jen, for each of your pages, you'll need to have some media as well.
Yep.
And there's a way so the way to add media is a little cumbersome because you don't just add it right into the page itself from your desktop. You have to add it to the media section of the book. So what we'll do then, to add an image, to be able to add an image to your page, you go to that wrench icon in the upper right-hand corner. Let me go back and show you that again. So there it is. And it's going to say, take me to my dashboard. There we go. Okay. So what you'll see is that you're going to be in this book. You want to make sure you see all of that, the title and the subtitle. So it looks familiar to you. This is what I would like to be in. And then if you go to pages, you're going to see all the pages in the book. You'll see your own page appear as well. That's good to know. It's listed there. It doesn't appear in the menu, but it does appear in the pages area in the dashboard. So you can always go back and check that way to make sure it's there. For media, you click on the media icon. And this is for images. You can upload videos if you want to. It's easier to embed videos. And to do that, I can talk about that in another session. But today, just thinking about uploading images. So let's say I want to find an image of, say, another power plant. And what's the famous one in London, Jen? That's the one. Okay. So if you find Battersea, here's an image. What I'm going to do is just save that image as by control-clicking on a Mac or right-clicking on a PC. I'm just going to save that to my desktop. There it is. Go back to the dashboard here inside of Scalar. So what we've done is downloaded a JPEG image or a PNG image to your desktop or somewhere convenient. Now, the trick is there is an import. It says import pages, but it's just import really when you want to add something to the media archive. So there are various related archives. Some work okay, some are a little bit wonky. But to upload a file, you'll see at the bottom, you can upload a file that you have on your desktop. And you find Battersea Power Plant description, and you can say image. If you have something more interesting, you can certainly add it there. That's where it's going to live in the media file. We're not, let's see, there it is. Upload, and there it is. So now it's inside the media area. So if I go back to the media section, I should now see the Battersea Power Plant in there, and the title is going to appear there as test 1. And now let's say I want to edit that. I can edit the name of it. make it more reflective of what it is. Okay, so that's the title of the actual file over there. That's the name of it in our, oh, I changed the wrong one. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. That's what it should be. There's Battersea. Okay. Now if I go back to my book, I want to add that image to my page. So I go to my dashboard again, go to Pages, find my page, and here it is. So here's where I want to add that picture of the Battersea power plant. I hit the pencil icon, as you saw, right? I'm going to find where I want that to appear, have my cursor there, and click on Insert Scalar Media Link. Choose it, and then I can choose how big I want it to appear. Continue. And there it is. So again, when you're adding an image, you want to make sure that is the proper resolution. So mine is a kind of lower resolution, so maybe I want to go back and edit it so it's smaller. So then you say, okay, that's appropriate. So again, be careful when you choose your images that they're the right resolution for what you want them to accomplish. And you can have text flow around that if you like. So anywhere you put your cursor, right, that's where you're going to add in that insert inline scalar media link. Okay, and then once you're done, you can click Save. There it is. All right. So once again, just getting started, thinking about adding a page, being able to edit that page, and then finding media that you want to add to your page. You have to download it onto your desktop or have it available in Dropbox or somewhere, and then upload it. Now, there is another way to do this. It's a little bit more tricky in the media section. You can link directly to an internet URL of a JPEG, right? So it has to be, it's not as easy to do anymore. You can't just put in, a link to an image with .jpeg, but you certainly can if you find that image available online with a URL directly to the image. It has to be directly to that image. You don't have to download or upload it. You can just point to the file as it exists on the web. Okay. Okay. All right. So are there any other questions right now? That's kind of really what I had to say today. We're going to do something like this later, I think, this summer. Not too much later, but if there are more kind of complex media that you want to upload, like videos or things like that, we can certainly discuss that. But for right now, this is how you add a page, edit a page, add content to that page, and upload media to put into the page. So does anybody have any questions about this so far?
And you can also ask general questions about the project if you like at this point. Okay.
Is that good? Okay. So great. So what I'll be doing then is I'm going to stop recording.
Okay, and thank you, Matt, very much for your help.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Once again, if you're watching this video and you have questions, you can certainly email them to Jen, Professor Wong, who will then forward them to me. But yeah, please let us know. It's if you get frustrated with trying to find something or a button, it's better stop and email Professor Wong and ask her about that, and she can refer to me. So if you're getting frustrated and it takes you more than 5 minutes to try to find something, don't let it get you down. Just send an email, and then we should be able to help you out. No problem. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching the video. And again, let us know if you have any questions.